Don't forget to hit that like button. It really means a lot. What's going on in door and lock tips today? Maybe I'm wrong. Peel the cap off and pin it from the top. Do you think that might be the right way to do it? Looks like some fun stuff. Oh yeah. We've got YALE and we've got LockCaddy. Look at this. Oh, I can't wait to show you this stuff. I'll be putting them in the beautiful YALE. Oh, this is like a piece of jewelry. YALE padlock. Stay tuned. We're going to have a blast. Welcome to the channel. If you guys stay till the end, there is some bonus videos that are going to really surprise you. You stay tuned and you're going to love the show today. We are going to team up some of the best in the business today. You are going to love this show. I have this gorgeous LockCaddy and YALE large format IC core. What are we going to do with them? You're going to see if this really is the way to pin up a lock, because I'm going to pin up 5 of them. 5 of these LFIC core cylinders. I can't wait to try it out. And I'm going to use the LockCaddy exclusively to do it. Stay till the end and you are going to just see some great close-ups of LockCaddy. Did I tell you? I'm going to peel off the top of this YALE IC core, large format, and I'm going to use the LockCaddy, team these two together, which I've never done in history. I really didn't see a use for LockCaddy, but don't forget to hit the like button. I'm going to peel the top off. Underneath that's the springs and all the pins and stuff. A lot of reasons why if you leave that on, it's a good thing. I'm going to peel that off and I'm going to see if it's faster.
Yeah, faster to pin up a lock.
The way LockCaddy says you should do it. We're going to see. Stay tuned. Spoiler alert, I timed both ways. My way, that I've been doing for 20 years, and LockCaddy's way. So stay tuned. Stay till the end. You're going to see. I would love to know how you guys do large format IC core YALE housings.
Do you think I've been doing it wrong all along?
YALE and LockCaddy. What do you think? You think you're going to use this tool? By the end of the video, you'll know for sure. Leave your thoughts down in the comment section, please. I'd like to know if you would use large format IC core in the LockCaddy and peel the cap off the top. Don't forget to hit that like button. It really means a lot. Helps the YouTube algorithm find me. LockCaddy, what do you think? LockCaddy? YALE? Is it a good team? Who knows? I'm going to find out. I'm going to let you know. Stay till the end. You're going to see if this really is the way to pin up a lock, because I'm going to pin up 5 of them. 5 of these LFIC core cylinders. I can't wait to try it out. And I'm going to use the LockCaddy exclusively to do it. I'm not going to use the normal way I normally do it, tipping the cylinder upside down and putting the drivers in from upside down and looking through a light and squinting and really trying. You know, I had to rethink this. I have to put the two against each other. That's the only fair thing to do. Keep watching. I'm going to use the LockCaddy, and I'm also going to use Major Manufacturing. They have a capping tool, which I had to modify. Here's the original. I modified it by drilling it out and allowing me to put the large format IC core inside of it. And it will let me hit on the top and drive on a brand new cap. That's really the problem. That's kind of why I never did it, because it's so hard to put a cap back in YALE large format IC core.
But maybe I've been doing it wrong all along.
Please leave your thoughts down in the comment section. YALE and LockCaddy to the rescue. Maybe I've been doing it wrong all along. Could that be? We're here at the pinning tray. I just purchased a brand new but an old vintaged A1. This thing is beautiful. I think I'm going to start using it. The black really helps me to be able to see all the pins. What we're going to do tonight is we're going to pin up some YALE LFIC. That's the large format interchangeable cores. I'm going to use the LockCaddy right here to set the cores in and pin them up. And I'm doing it a different way than I've ever done it before. Normally, I would pull the back retaining clip off the back, put a construction core in because they come zero bid. You get 2 keys if you do that. There's some pins and all the springs. And that's basically how I purchased these for, 20 years. That rhymes. Wrong all along. Tip it sideways, you pull the clip off, tip it sideways, use a follower, lab follower. I push it through, have it upside down so that all my top drivers pop off, and I leave the springs in, and then I reload it with appropriate top drivers because they're going to be different sized. You can see these are not all the same size top drivers. There's the top drivers, different size. There's 2, 3, and 4. That's the number on the pinning kit. So they're different size for master wafers and the bottom key pin. But I normally do it that way. And I've done it that way for 20 years and I'm just used to it. I recently purchased this product right here. It's a LockCaddy, and it allows you to stay till the end. You're going to see if this really is the way to pin up a lock. It's loaded in backwards. This looks backwards to me because the name is on the front of the thing. But I just went to their website. They have no manuals on this. You're going to have to watch their videos. They have videos. And I modified this a little bit. I put some sticky felt on it because my core, no matter what you did, it just fell out in your hands. You touch this caddy. I know they want you to lock this down to your table, but I never work on a bench where I'm screwing some kind of jig in to load up my pins. It's usually my desk here. Pin right on top of it, and then I can move stuff away and I can continue to work. But I don't like screwing anything into my desk. If you bump this bad boy, the cylinder would just slide around in there. It's very sloppy. But I put some felt on there, modified it. I stuck felt around the edge. Hopefully it will be helpful to you guys if you want to buy something like this in the future. Verdict's out. I'm going to time this thing and see if it's faster to pin a cylinder the way Wes down there at LockCaddy says to do it. He really doesn't explain that. You know, they just take for granted that you're always going to pull this cover off. And in some cases you have to. But in YALE, you really don't have to. There's a lot of reasons why if you leave that on, it's a good thing. I spent 3 days trying to figure an easy way to mount this cap back on YALE. YALE is a strange little animal. It is like Medical. Medical and YALE are both brothers. They make their own little capping tool. I got to show you. I paid like $35.
I paid like $35 for
This insane, expensive part. It's a piece of metal, and you just take a hammer and you whack the cap back on like that with this tool. That's for Medico. Medicos aren't always this way, but they're trying to copy the YALE cylinders. You do have to have the cap off. In fact, I don't think you can, unless you buy them loaded, pinned and keyed up. If you buy them and you're a Medico dealer, they're going to come with no cover over the top of the Medico cylinders that look just like these YALE. So you're going to have to apply that back on. So they wanted you to use this. And there's the number, a CP-282430, if you want to get something like this. I've discovered that just with a little ingenuity, instead of paying $35, you can take apart one of your Olympus locks, pull off the deadbolt part of the Olympus lock, the bolt, and this is the same thing. In fact, it's a little nicer. It's longer. It goes in the same slot, and you can just, if you want to, you can run a file on each side and then pound that back down. And it's longer. You can hang on to it. You're going to have to knock the burrs off of this slot. They milled that in there. It's sharp. Do it this way, putting that cap back on. I have a complete video on this, by the way, on how to apply the cap. I also, if you want to go crazy, and really I highly suggest it, buy this Major Manufacturing CCT-100 and modify it. Believe it or not, Major does not make one for a YALE large format. I modified it. I talked to Bill Forrest down there, and I modified my own, and you can just easily just drill it out, you know, with a drill press. Got to have a drill press and got to have a nice, good, heavy vise because it wants to grab it. You just whack the top of that. See the slot in that? You just whack the top. It's all spring loaded. It's made for doing this, but I had to modify the hole size. It would have been all red anodized in there. I drilled it bigger to accommodate my YALE cylinder housing. And then you can put your cap on that way. That's how I suggest you do it. I want you to hit it with a rubber mallet on the top. If you don't, the metal's soft. You can see I hit it with hammers one time and kind of dented it. You can use Lab's brand new arbor press. It's an IC Pro 150. I've got a whole video on it. And this part right here, I drilled it out right there. You mount the cylinder in here backwards and use the press and just push down single cap. You don't have to hardly push with an arbor press. In fact, you could probably set this underneath an arbor press without hitting with a hammer and just barely push. Hey guys, I just found a nylon cover cap to work with my arbor press. It should work great to press down on top of Major Manufacturing jig. Yeah, see my future video on that. Without hitting with a hammer and just barely push. Because it does not have to be flattened out. Although these are flat. But it does not have to be flattened out. It just has to catch. Nice firmly catch, because you don't want that coming off. What I'm going to do tonight is I'm going to yank the cover off. I'm going to time all this. My phone with my timer. Oh, there's the Major. These things are not cheap, by the way. Builder Supply. Chip Howard, I think it is. Yeah, he's a cool dude. Man, does he have some videos. He'll get you straight. You want to buy $243. And you can just drill that out and make it bigger. I have a blue one that's a CCT 200. This is for Sargent. And this one is for Corbin Russwin. You're going to have to drill the aluminum. This is high-grade aluminum. So let's go ahead and get our timer going. Something we've all been waiting for. I don't know. Maybe I've been doing it wrong all along. Okay, I've got to pull this cover off. Now, according to his video, this is a big major thing to pull them covers off. But it's really not. You're going to have a couple tools. I found now that this small needle nose will do the trick. You're going to have to also have a screwdriver. So this screwdriver removes the clip on the back, and it also will take this off. So he wants you to quite literally put it in his tray, like so, and then pull this cover cap off because he thinks you have to hold it in a vise to get this off. But I'm going to just show you. I don't know where this thinking comes in, but I'm going to just show you. I can hold it in my hand, barely hold it in my hand, and take this thing, and I'm barely holding this, okay, barely. And I'm going to just peel this off. This is factory right now, factory installed from the factory. Now notice, I'm not holding it in any vise. I'm just peeling this off like this. Now these cannot be reused. You have to use new ones. So you're going to have a supply. They're cheap, readily available. And if you have any trouble, you just can take it like this and pull this thing off. Just like that. Now, I did not need a vise. I don't know why you would need a vise. According to his video, you need a vise. Now, here's all the springs. Oh, I should have started my timer. Maybe I've been doing it wrong all along. I'm going to put maybe 30 seconds onto this. So let's go ahead and put this right down here, just so you can watch. Now I already loaded my pinning tray up, my vintage A1. All right, I'm going to say that's how long it takes to pull that cap cover off. Now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to dump out all the pins and springs right like that, which is nice. That's fast. Make sure that it's straight up and down. Get everything out of there. All right, everything's out. Now I'm going to load the springs back that I've just yanked because I want to use these springs. I'll put them right there. This is how you would normally do it, let's say if you're using his tool. 5 and there's 6. Sometimes they put another spring in there. Recently, YALE has been messing their cylinders up from the factory. All right, now I've got this beautiful YALE all gutted, as we would call it. I put this felt on there to hold it so it does not slide around. I don't know why I can't. Let's just see. Why can't I? Me to stick that backwards. All right. I wish there was a little notch out on here for the lug. There is no notch for the lug. He never, by the way, said it was for YALE. He said large format, but he did not say it was for YALE. But if you have a Medico, like he was showing in the picture, Medico has this lug on there too. All right, so we're just going to kind of move things a little sideways here. We're going to go ahead and load this thing up now. This is the front, so this is the number 1 chamber. That's number 1. Now I want to make sure I put the conical end down. So that's the pointed end down. I'll just load all the pins up first. All the pins are in. Now the master pins. Kind of hard to reach in here. 1. This is a number 6 master pin. Okay, let's make sure we're all down. Yeah. Now the drivers. I must say it is easy to top load. Without this felt on, it was falling out, guys. You couldn't even touch the thing. And I'm not screwing this thing down to anything. I could screw it down to a piece of plywood, I guess. Little board. All right, there's all the pins. Now let's load up the springs. $4 minutes. There's 5 minutes. Of course, I am shooting video, okay? That takes a little longer. There we go. All right, so that's loaded. Now let's get our cover. So see, my cover doesn't just lay on there flat. Now, can you imagine me trying to pound this thing? This would be crazy. We're going to use Major's tool, although I have another way of doing it. You don't have to be too gentle. These are pretty huge cylinders. There's how we're doing it. We're setting that on like this. Now I have to load it from the back because the lug has to clear this back part. So when I modified that, I drilled that bigger. So I just lift this up. It's all spring loaded. I lift this up. The springs are inside here and they pull down. And there we go. So we're in place. So there's the little set screws that are holding the springs, and these screws go all the way and they're screwed into the top plate, which is hardened to some degree. Now I need to smack on the top of that. So I'm going to have to go get a hammer. Bear with me, guys. Should I have the hammer there? I'm kind of wasting some time. But you know, you're going to be talking to somebody or something. So here's our mallet. Now I have an anvil plate all in rubber. Let's just see how this works. We're going to move our clock. Now all you got to do is just bump it. Okay, it's not that hard. But I'm sure everything's going to move on my table here. Now that should have done it. That's got it down. So let's look at the time. 7 minutes. Let's just say 8 minutes. All right, 8 minutes to load it from the top. Let's see if the keys work. If I didn't have that Major manufacturing jig, $240 worth of heaven, this would have taken a lot longer than 8 minutes. Well, that's no good. Oh, you know what? That doesn't work. This is not supposed to work. All right, so we got the master key works. And we have an apartment. I've cross-keyed this thing. And the shed. Oh, I know what it is, guys. Okay. This thing's only supposed to be the shed and the master key. I have not cross-keyed this particular one. So 8 minutes got us in. I did not have to remove the clip. I did not have to use a follower. And everything's done in 8 minutes. Now, let's time the other way. My old way. Oh, he does say you can go ahead and mark or stamp your cylinders in here, but I see no reason to do any of that. I'm not going to stamp anything in this No numbers on this. These are so delicate. Start pounding on these things, any lettering, and you're going to just ruin it. We found the best way to do it is with a Sharpie. This is an extreme. It does not matter. None of them stick really well. And so I'm going to write shed on this. There we go. It's that simple. Magic marker. Now the keys are another story. Stamping or engraving is a great idea. You don't have to do your cylinders with that. In fact, you start stamping on your YALE housing and you stamp above that name or below the name or somewhere around here, and you want to use this cylinder somewhere else, you're going to have numbers and stuff all over it. I highly suggest you do not stamp the face of your
Hit the like button.
brand name LFIC or SFIC. I do want to show you something. I just loaded my tray. If you have CLK Supplies gauge, you can take your bottom driver pins. Somebody mixed up some of my 2s and 1s. I don't know why. But you can just hold them right there. That's a number 2. Let's see, is that a 1? Ooh, that's a 1, guys. Yeah, I needed to be a 1. But see, it looks just like a 2, but it's not. So the next one's supposed to be a 3. And that's a 3. You can just test these really quick. I have a killer veneer calipers by Michitoyo. They're carbide. You know, you got to adjust. I love it, but this kind of is faster. I checked all the pins to make sure everything's working. Okay, so the pins are correct. All right, what do I need for my job? I don't need the LockCaddy, okay, because I'm going to just load it up right there. So I don't need that little tool. I need the keys. I need a pin. This is a great tool by LockCaddy. And this is one of the most exceptional tools I've ever seen. Best small format IC core. Just stick it on the top to see if the pin stack is all 23. I do like that. That's a great tool.
The best tool, I think, in my opinion, and this is the tip of the day, is the Go No Go by LockCaddy. Wonderful tool. Let's get back to the show.
Need my follower. I need a screwdriver. I need my tweezers by Lab. Greatest tweezers you'll ever find. These are the only tweezers to get, guys. Lab small tweezers. They are beautiful. Exceptional tweezers. I've got like lots of them. I have them in every pinning tray and I have them just everywhere. I just love these things. So I need that. These made. Pakistan. Our little Pakistani friends, they do a nice job. All right, so I need that. I don't need this. We're going to just pull this out of the way. You know, his little prongs here are kind of small. I need my pinning tray. All the pins are all ready. Here's my cylinders. And I do need a marker. I do not need the capping tool. That's completely worthless anyway. This one is already done. Wait a minute. Which one's done? There it is. Stick that over there. Ooh, I don't want to pull out the wrong cover. Right, I have to do 3 cylinders to go in 3 padlocks. These are great locks, so I'm going to have padlocks on the job. Okay, I think we're set. So we want to get this show on the road.
Don't forget to hit that like button. Let's get back to the show.
All right, we're going to reset our clock. Here we go. I think I'll put right here. All right. I have other videos on just how you do this.
clips off. Got to put your key in. Turn it sideways. I always stick my follower in like this. All right. Now I don't need any of these pins, so we're going to go ahead and dump them. Those are all 0. So that's empty. Go ahead and set that down right here. Now this particular beast, I blow out upside down. I do it on another pinning tray. Let's see if this works. Okay, there's all my pins. And there's the springs. Let's just make sure we don't have double springs in here. There's all the springs, they're all intact. And I leave them upside down. They don't stick out so high as to not know what I'm doing here. So I always load the back first, and I use this part of the follower. So I have to get in here and look inside with of accuracy. Push down the spring to clear the follower. And I go 3 springs in. 3 springs in. And I start with the number 4 top driver. I'm not going to cut out anything, guys. We're doing a real comparison here. Okay, I've got the back part of the cylinder loaded, the housing we're going to call this. Now the springs don't stick up so high as they go flying. So there's the other 3. I load in the center and my way back to the front. Put a little pressure on that follower. All right, that's done. That's loaded. I set that aside. Now conical end down. I start with number 1 and I'm going to put it in the front of the plug. So number 1, number 2 chamber, number 3, number 4, number 5, and number 6. Now on the very first one I have 2 of these master wafers, so we're going to go ahead and get them both. All right. I kind of want to keep my finger by the I'm trying to stay out of the camera's way, guys. Okay, that's why I'm grabbing sideways here, over the top. I hope I didn't just mess that up. I don't think I did, but maybe I did. Oh no. I just want to check 3. I got to make sure I put a master wafer. Yep, I did. All right. Now I take and I just push this through. There we go. I click it. I've done 6 minutes, 14 seconds. You all can see that. I did not really take exceptional fast time on this. Let's test the keys, make sure I did it right. So the shed should not work in this. Exterior should be beautiful. Notice I did not have to put the cover on. The A master, this is sub master. We have an apartment, goes in here. Ooh, yeah. And then we have control key. Get this in. Sometimes you gotta tap them. There we go. And then we want the master key. All right, so we want the grandmaster to go through. All right, no, that's the control. There it is. Everything works. You be the judge. I did not have to waste a clip, so I don't have to buy any of these clips. None of these clips. I don't have to have any kind of rig to slam them down. $250 major manufacturing jig, which is nice to have if you're doing medico and things of that nature. Now I can see this tool working for us. But I'm going to say hands down, I beat it. Hands down. Really was no hassle. I didn't have to slip it in anything. The plug just fit right here in my beautiful jig. So there's 8 minutes. That's where I was at with the other one. So I beat him. 6 minutes, I think I was at. Wow. Thank you guys for subscribing to my channel. Please tell your friends, and I'll have more door and lock tip comparisons and all that good stuff. You know, the stopwatch just doesn't lie. Let's reset this. I have to do 3 more of these tonight, so I'm going to go ahead and pin these bad boys up. And I don't think I am going to use the LockCaddy at all. It's a nice little thing to have on your, I don't know, workbench maybe? You could put it on your workbench. There's probably a use for this. I'm just not seeing it. Especially when the clock was ticking and I had an equal comparison, don't you think, guys? All right, please tell your friends, subscribe to my channel. I'll have more door and lock tips like this coming your way in the future. Thanks. I hope you guys had as much fun as I did. You decide, was it faster? Do you like to pull the plug out, knock all the pins out, pull the springs out, leave the cap on, cover cap? Or do you like to pull the cover cap off and load from the top and use the brand new LockCaddy I just got from their store? Which would you rather do? Would you rather pull the cap off, use LockCaddy, or would you rather just pull the plug out and load it upside down? You decide. Thank you for subscribing to my channel, telling your friends, and hitting that like button. I really appreciate it. Thank you very much, and I'll have more door and lock tips like this coming your way in the future. I'm hoping this has been helpful to you guys. Thank you. As promised, here's the bonus round. There won't be any doubt left in your mind which one to pick, the LockCaddy or just the standard way. Let's get into the show, the bonus round. We're going to do the bonus round. Now, I'm not going to talk at all. I'm going to set my timer, and I'm going to do it the old-fashioned way, the way I'm used to it for 20 years, right? So I'm going to set the timer. Reset. Here we go. Trying to keep my hand out from in front of the camera. We've got to load from the top here. Number 3. 5 minutes 30. Oh no, oh no. 5 minutes 30 some seconds. Let's test the keys. These are going to be trouble all the way through this. They come stiff from the factory. Look at that. I can't get that down. There we go. You got to tap them from the factory, guys. There's a pin they use in there that's, they pound a pin in. We're off the clock. We already know it works. So the shed doesn't work. That key doesn't work. We already know the cylinder works. All these are going to work. Exterior. I cross-keyed this one. And then use the master key. There we go. And we're going to write exterior. I love these Sharpies. This makes it so simple. And as long as you don't get any oil on your marking, you'll be cool. And you just carry these out in plastic bags to the job. I seem to have no problem, no tray. All right, so that one's done. Let's try it the other way. The LockCaddy way. I do like to test these pins, guys. Whoa. Because I got them mixed up, probably from pounding on the table like I was doing. That one, that goes down there. The next one's a 3. I can just stick it right like that. My buddy's texting me. I told him, he does a lot of YALE. I told him, hey, our old conventional way's faster. All right, number 2. Oh. Boy, penny mats are important, aren't they? And then we got number 5. You don't want to get these mixed up. You load it all and then you got to come back and pull them all out. I find out if you just test it, your measurements first in like a jig like this, and this is a number 4, and then a number 2. Yep. I like that. That is one slick little item. Super cheap, super thin, and you can drop this, whereas I dropped this $400 veneer caliper, hardened carbide. Can you believe that? I dropped this, it's history. All right, this is going to be the LockCaddy way, but I am going to pound this cover over on the bench right behind me. So I'm going to pick this up, and I'm going to put this cool Amazon pounding table. Look at this cool thing, guys. Look at that, in rubber, so you don't get a double bounce. I'm going to put this right behind me on a bench. I don't want to bounce my pins all around. Okay, that's dangerous. But that's what I'm going to do. That you're going to see in full motion. But I don't want to move the camera. So all right, let's get going here. Here we go. My buddy's texting me. He's waiting to see if it's going to take longer. Got the springs. All right, now all we got to do is load this thing. Straight up load it. I'm going to turn this a little bit. Kind of going down. You never have to tamp the YALE pins down. Now these are the drivers. Getting close, guys. 3 minutes. All right, now the springs. All right, she's loaded. Getting the cover. You could test all the keys, but we're not going to do that. All right. Now, if you didn't have this jig, you would not be going very fast. All right, we're loaded up. Now I'm just going to turn and hit this with the mallet. Okay? I'm still talking. So we're just going to hit it with the mallet. Okay. Ooh, hit my camera. Ooh. We're at 4 minutes, 55 seconds. Well, guess what? I beat my 5 minute, 30 seconds. So they're pretty close. All right, so I beat myself on that one. But, so let's see, 15 seconds. That would have been it right now for the other way. But I would have wasted a cap. So how much are these caps worth to you? And you got to have a jig, $250 jig. You really do. If you don't have this jig, custom made, you're not flying fast. How much are those caps worth? I don't know, probably $1 a piece. You can always charge everybody for them, though. Wow. It really pays to lubricate your pins. So that's the apartment. The shed should not work. Doesn't. The master key, submaster this is, works like butter. The exterior works great. Now let's just see if this thing works, because this is our trouble. See that sticking out? So this whole run of cylinders, pin to go up is trouble. But that lug has got to move. So you just take and hammer that, and it'll stay up after that. You don't have to hammer no more. Well, there we have it. Just stay till the end. Let's just check if the master key works. Wow. So it's pretty close. Matches. Oh, that master key works so nice. All right. There you have it, guys. Please tell your friends. Subscribe. Hit that like button. YouTube wants that like button hit. It helps the algorithm. Oh, and you know what? You can buy me a cup of coffee. I have a link in the description. Oh, and I love coffee. I just love it. And you can just donate a cup of coffee to me right now. Wouldn't that be nice? Wouldn't that be nice? I'd enjoy that. Please subscribe to my channel. Tell your friends. And I'll have more door and lock tips like this coming your way in the future. Thanks, guys. You know, I should let you see this killer Yale lock. Look at this. I do like these Yales. So it's got to go in that slot just perfect. I have the control key. It went in the slot just perfect. That doesn't always happen. And let's see. I've got an exterior. Where's the exterior? Okay, here it is. Let's see if it works. Isn't that gorgeous? This lock's $80 by itself without the cylinder. Ah, there's something about that. Isn't that nice? Gorgeous. Watch that again. Watch. Oh, my buddy, he's laughing at me. Oh, boy. Subscribe to my channel, tell your friends, and I'll have more wonderful videos like this coming your way. This is going to St. Croix. Hooray for them. Hooray for them. Great, great lock. Hit the like button. Here's a knockoff. Now this thing's about $13. Look at the difference. This is Yale. Gorgeous print. This is a knockoff. I think I pay $20 for this. Maybe less. 18. I just slipped the cylinder in it. Let's hear it pop for the first time. Yeah. This is going to be fun. Listen to this one. Oh, that doesn't sound as good. All right, let's check the sound. All right, let's hear the sound. Boy, that's sweet. And the hasp is thicker than this one. Look at the difference. This thing I could chew off with my finger. Kind of cool though. All in all, you can chop them both off. I don't know. Would you spend the extra money? Leave it down in the description. Would you buy the Yale? Because both of these are pretty much easy to chop. This is real easy. It just stops the good guy from going through the gate. Oh, that's kind of nice though. They're both brass, stainless steel. This is just a thinner hasp, I think we call it. Oh yeah, that is nice. Ball bearing, probably a ball bearing there so I could put a shim on both sides and get this lock open. Yeah, I could shim it here. Little butterfly shim. Both of them. That's how you get into that one. And the same way with this one. Little ball bearings in there. This is not Medico. That's a fact. Alright, that's why I did it. Make up some
padlocks, and a shed for St. Croix. They're going to love it. And they got a YALE lock, regular cylindrical YALE lock for the shed. Ah, that's nice. Don't forget to hit the like button, guys. Bye now.
Now, if you really want to blow my mind, I'm going to put a link down in the description how you can buy me a cup of coffee, and I would so appreciate it. So if you want to blow my mind and buy me a cup of coffee, help my channel out, that's the way to do it. It's real simple. Just push the button and follow the directions. It won't even hurt, and you can exercise your fingers. Yeah! Thanks a lot, guys.
I'll have more door lock tips. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for subscribing. I'll have more door lock tips like this coming your way in the future. Please subscribe, hit that like button. Thanks again.